Welcome everyone to the February 2013 Gaming PC Builds of the Month, brought to you by noobcomputerbuild.com. I have switched the videos up this month. As anyone who has followed me previously, you'll notice that I am not doing the usual picture-by-picture, hardware-by-hardware gaming PC builds for the month. I am rather doing an audio version of the builds now, so I'm going to at least try it out and then fine-tune things as the months go on. So let's give this a try. I'm going to split the videos up into three for the three different builds I have this month. This will make things a little more organized than usual. I usually compile them all into the one video, the $500, the $1,000, and the $1,500 gaming PC builds. However, this will make it easier for anyone who's looking for a specific budget range for their PC build. And here today you can see that I have Noob Computer Build open. I'm going to use this as my navigational way through the gaming PC builds. For anyone that doesn't know, I write an article every month here at noobcomputerbuild.com for the gaming PC builds of the month, and then I make a video. So I'm going to use the article to do this, and if you want to follow along or read more into why I choose specific hardware or the introductions to each build, or to comment and ask more questions, you can visit the builds every month at noobcomputerbuild.com. Alright, let's get started. As this one is going to be the $1,500 build, I'll click on the gaming PC builds of the month. $1,500. This month, the prices are accurate as of a couple of days ago. Today is the 1st of February, and so on January 29th or 30th, these were accurate prices, and they will be within this range, at least at Amazon.com, where I have linked everything to get you started. As you can see, I also recommend Newegg, depending where you're from, Newegg.ca, Newegg.com, or Amazon.ca, .co.uk, etc., depending on where you are from. That's just to get you started, and if you have any questions, you can ask me. All right, this month, as per usual, the $1,500 build, the prices have dropped slightly from the overall build from last month. They were around, I forget the exact number, but they were closer to $1,500 for the exact hardware that I chose last month, but I have switched up the hardware to match the price changes, and I think you'll be rather pleased with what I have chosen this month. At least I think. There's the new as a Genesis 9000W full tower case that I have chosen, which I think is a really sleek, awesome looking case. So let's get started though. Going through the article, I always start off and I post an image from the 3D Mark results that I go to the site and I try to look up the benchmarks for people that have been benchmarked the graphics card and the processor that I use in my builds. So when you go here, I take, they're not always exactly accurate, but it gives you an idea of what to expect if you choose to go with this build. It's a starting block. It's not by any means 100% accurate. I just want to leave that as a caveat because people, they overclock the processors and their graphics cards and their RAM, and so everything's not always exactly stock, which I would ideally like to benchmark. But anyways, if you want to search through that or are planning on building another build, this is a good place to start benchmark-wise. All right, let's go. The processor for the $1,500 gaming PC build of the month is the Intel i5-3570K quad-core processor from Intel. This has been the go-to gaming processor for most builds and my medium and high-end builds for almost a year now. So if you were planning on building a gaming PC, this is most likely the processor you will get. It's easily overclockable. There's nothing really bad to say about it. Even if you don't overclock, it's still good, and still worthwhile to get, since it's not that much more than the regular 3570. Anyways, you can get it for around $223 right now at Amazon.com. Yeah, so let's move on. For the $1,500 build, I also include the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo CPU cooler for $33.24. It is the one of the highest rated, air coolers right now, and it's great bang for your buck in terms of cooling. And if you want to overclock, I would highly recommend getting this, at least. Going on, I recommend the ASRock Extreme 6 motherboard. I've done this, I think, 2 months in a row now. Before I included the Extreme 4 due to pricing, but this, the ASRock line of Extreme boards they're actually pretty good value for what you spend on them. They're not high end, they're not a low end, but they have everything you need and nothing more. Well, you can Crossfire or SLI if you want to keep that in mind for future upgrades if you decide to go with that. But yeah, so the ASRock Extreme 6 motherboard. The graphics card I recommend is the Gigabyte HD 7970 3GB graphics card. This is a great card, and the price on this card has dropped to around an even $400 this month, which is great for this card. Resolutions of 2560 by 1600 easily. If you're on a regular 1920 by 1080p monitor, whatever size, you wouldn't even need to think about what you're playing or what settings. You'll just play everything on max settings anyways. Or if you have a multi-monitor setup, still, unless you're playing up to resolutions that high, I would not even recommend, going higher than this, or going SLI or Crossfire, or in this case Crossfire, unless you really wanted to go all out. All right, down to the RAM, the memory. We have 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance. It's been a pretty good package deal for the last quite a few months for a 16 gigabyte package, 2 8 gigabyte RAM sticks, for $89. This has been roughly the price of this RAM kit for a while. It's great. RAM prices, DDR3 RAM prices have been going down significantly. A lot of people will say 16 gigabytes is way too much, especially for a gaming build. But, last year 8 gigabytes was, last year and the year before that, 8 gigabytes was overshooting it from the previous 4 gigs of recommended RAM. So if you're going to get a $1,500 build, go get 16 gigabytes at least. The price is worth it. Going on now to the hard drive, the Western Digital 1 terabyte blue desktop hard drive. I have pretty much only recommended this hard drive for quite a while. The Western Digital drives, I always use Western Digital. The other good drives are the Samsung ones and the spin points. However, I would not recommend getting or going over the Western Digital ones unless it came down to price. And usually recently the prices of the Western Digitals have been a little more stable than they were previously. So for $70 you can get a 1 terabyte drive, which plenty of room for your games, or for mostly your games and media if you have it, but since we're building gaming PCs here, this is plenty of space in my opinion. And even so, for the $1,500 build, I include a solid state drive, which you would install your OS, Windows 7, 8, if you wanted to, or whichever OS, Linux, whatever you want to use, on the boot disk, the solid state drive, which you'd use as a boot disk, which would increase boot times, as well as your most played games, which would increase their boot times as well. And for $173 for a 250 gigabyte SSD solid state drive, it is a great deal. So that paired with 1 terabyte drive, I do not think you will have any fret space wise. And always keep an eye out for some hard drive deals if you do run into a situation where you think you'll need more room. All right, let's go on to the power supply. The infamous Corsair Enthusiast Series PSU 850 watts is what I recommend for this build. And this is only for, 850 is actually overshooting it. You can go with a 750 watt, or I think the recommended wattage for the Radeon HD 7970 is, you know, I'm trying to remember, 500 or 550 watts, you know, minimum. Oh, right there, 550 watts. So 850 watts for this whole build is plenty of space. But unless you wanted to go Crossfire in the future, and if you did, I would recommend, you know, this is a great, that's why I do this for the $1,500 build. You know, it creates room and, you know, worry-free space in terms of wattage. And I have been, and I do recommend the Corsair Enthusiast power supplies. There's tons out there. However, these have stood strong for quite a few years now. And now down to the case for the $1,500 PC build for February. The new ASA Genesis 9000W full tower case. It's a sweet looking case. Honestly, it's not cheap, but not over the top expensive. $170 starting here. It's a great looking case. Here, I'll bring up the website in terms of and bring up the gallery. And I don't know. I love white cases too. It also you can also get the black one, but it looks great, and the airflow has great airflow. You know, it's huge. It's a huge case if you're a huge case lover. Plenty of room for, you know, additions. Looks great. Nice, you know, nice look, nice color. All right. So that pretty much sums it up for the $1,500 gaming PC build from noobcomputerbuild.com for February 2013. I hope if you're interested, you'll check out the other two. I have the $1,000 build and the, you know, $500 build that I will be discussing as well. So please check those out. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment either here or at noobcomputerbuild.com. Thank you.